This call is now being recorded. किती टाकायचं? बघ किती टाकायचं तुम्ही किती टाकायचं? आम्ही 3 मोठे मोठे होते आमचे.
Okay, welcome back for the IQM lecture. So last lecture we have started the controlling. So controlling is nothing but controlling is the last managerial function. Okay, apart from planning, organizing, staffing, leading and controlling. Now what is controlling? The measurement and correction of performance. Controlling is nothing but the measurement and correction. Whatever according to the measurement, if the correction is required, that correction of performance in the order to make sure that the enterprise objective and the plan device to attain them are being accomplished. Our main motto of the controlling is the measurement, whatever the performance, and if correction is required, if maintenance is required, so we have to coordinate all the manufacturing processes, okay, or all the entire work inside that organization, okay, to accomplish our whatever set goal. Okay, so basic 4 processes are there of controlling: establishment of standard, measurement of performance, compare performance with standard, correction of deviation. Okay, so first one is a establishment of standard. Now for example, standard is nothing but the preset. Okay, suppose for example, we are generally whatever the weight in kg. Okay, our Indian organizations are allowed in the weight in terms of kg, tons, okay, metrics. But in as per this is the standard, kg is the standard. Okay, for example, if you required to set any standard, ISO standard, okay, Indian standards may be there, American standard may be there. So whatever the standard, first of all we have to set. Okay, now why standards are required? Now for the comparison, calibration, is it right? So for that purpose, the standards are very important. Now first step in controlling is the establishment of standard. So which standard we have to follow? Okay, which standards will get our maximum important result? Okay, so first of all we have to set standards. Okay. Now next is a measurement of performance. Now according to the standard, okay, so you can take the whatever the measurement instrument, whatever the measurement strategy standards, and with the help of that measurement standard, now measurement take. Okay, so whatever measurement is nothing but the whatever we have set the standards, whatever the unit is required, with the help of that unit we can measure the performance. Okay, third step is a compare performance with standard. Whatever measurement we have taken, first compare it between first step and second step is nothing but third step. Okay, compare performance with standard, whatever the measured performance, and last is correction of deviation. Now while comparing, if any deviation, if any correction is required, now that correction is the last step. Okay, suppose standard is having 10 unit value, okay, but whatever measured value is 11. Now we have to reduce the value as compared to the standard, so standard is equal to measurement. Okay, so that will be our result. Now this is a fourth step. Okay, so after comparing establishment standards, comparing standards with measurement, we can get the solution, or we can maintain the whatever the organization point. Okay, next types of standard: physical standard, cost standard, capital standards, revenue standard, program standards, and intangible standard. Okay, physical is nothing but length, whatever the physical properties are there. Okay, weight, length, height, huh? So that standard we can take in that. Cost standard is nothing but whether we are using the currency, we can say that. Okay, India is using rupees, okay, dollar in America, western countries. Okay, so according to the cost standard, so they will, now that standards are also okay. This is the second type of the standard. Now capital standards. Okay, so according to capital or fund, we can say that the, okay. So that standard may be there. For example, if you require a share market is there. Okay, no. What is the capital? Okay, capital is nothing but to providing fund. Okay, but fund in terms of different ways. Okay, so that standards we have to study. Revenue standards. Okay, so whatever the revenue, according to the revenue, different standards are available. Okay, so according to your requirement, okay, or whatever the easy of work, easy of calculation, so you can take the different standard, or we can set one standard from the different available program standards. Okay, whatever different programs are available in market, so which program is suitable for us, which is easier to us, okay, or which will be the standard output basis standard we can choose. Intangible standard. Okay, intangible is nothing but the invisible. Okay, but that is required. For example, tangible is nothing but we can touch, intangible is nothing but we can't touch. Okay, so these standards also we have to consider. Okay, now next is the process of controlling process. Generally what process will there, whatever the input, process is nothing but the concurrent control. Okay, whatever the measurement, then again output. Now add the output compared to the standard, whatever output we have received, and we have to compare that output, so whatever standard we have set in first step. Okay, so after that comparing, we will get the feedback. If any correction is there, we have to remove that correction. If any deviation is there, we have to whatever that repair that particular output or whatever the machine. Okay, so this will be the controlling process. Okay, now in that controlling process, entire process is a management. Okay, now the employee depend on whatever the input, process and output is depend on the employee. Okay, so whatever the strategy you are using, whatever the process you are using, but set standards is another part. Okay, whether the employees are setting standard, no. Why? Because the standard setting is a top level management work. Okay, or whatever the government work, we can say that. Is it right? For example, prices of petrol and diesel. Okay, prices of petrol and diesel are controlled with the central government or state government. Okay, नाहीतर आपण म्हटलं असतं की आमच्या तिकडे डोंगरात पेट्रोल आहे म्हणल्यावर 100 रुपये महाग असेल. ओके, शहरात आहे तरी 50 रुपये मिळालं पाहिजे. ओके, बट दॅट स्टँडर्ड्स, okay, whatever the price of standard, price of anything, so to setting that standard is another part, or we can say that the top level managers. Okay, and whatever the output feedback we will get from the customer. Okay, so this showing screen showing the controlling process. Is it right? Now traditional technique of the controlling: personal observation, budgeting, break-even analysis, financial statement, statistical data and report, setting example, standard posting and return instruction. Okay, so these are the traditional techniques generally used in a organization or industry in for controlling. Okay, so first is a personal observation. Now in personal observation, this is the most traditional method of control. It helps manager to collect first hand information. Personal observation is nothing but the while controlling, the manager of that industry or that section will go directly to that workplace. Okay, and they will observe by hand to hand object. Suppose there is a production industry may be there. Okay, so that manager will go personally with that area. They will check whether the operation management is going on, production is going on. If any error is there, directly inspection they will take. Okay, they will check quality of the product. This is nothing but the personal observation. Okay, now it also create a psychological pressure on the employee to perform as well as aware that they are being observed personally on their job. Definitely, this is the first strategy. This is a first strategy. Which strategy? If the employee or whatever the manager will observing us, definitely the employee will be attention. Okay, whatever the attention of that employee may be very clearly, because त्यांना वाटतं की आपल्याला मॅनेजर लक्ष ठेवतोय, कोणतरी बघतंय आपल्याकडे म्हटल्यानंतर डेफिनेटली ते काम व्यवस्थित करणार आहे. ओके, सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्ट्रॅटेजी ऑफ द कंट्रोलिंग. इज इट राईट? Now, however, it is a very time consuming and not suitable for all kinds of job. Is it right? So sometimes personal observations are difficult. Why? Because of, suppose there are production industry. Okay, there are number of plants. Whatever the production area is very huge, is it possible to check each and every part to the manager? Okay, whatever the role of manager will increase, definitely whatever this process is somewhat time consuming. Okay, and not suitable for the all kinds of job. Okay, if certain objects, certain jobs are there or production are there. Okay, sometimes this is possible. Okay, but personal observation is very important. Okay, as we are managers in industry. Okay, we will be the managers in industry. Definitely we have to observe personally each and every point. Definitely whatever the output of work will get effective. Okay, next strategy, budgeting. Now, budget is a statement which reflects future income, expenditure and profit of the firm. Budgeting is also included in the controlling. Okay, if money is not there, then how we can control the industry? Okay, so for that controlling in the industry, we have to maintain budget. Okay, suppose what percentage of budget for raw material, what for the salary, what for the maintenance, what for the government taxes. Okay, so all this standard of budget we have to think on that. Okay, so benefit of budgeting, standard of performance, planning, predicting the future, financial planning. So all the factors are included in the budgeting. Okay, a break-even analysis, it deals with the study of the relationship between cost, value and profit. A break-even analysis is one of the theory of controlling. Okay, so we will study that. I think you might be studying in another subject. Okay, but break-even analysis is also one of the theory to controlling the organization. Okay, now what is the break-even analysis? It deals with the study of relationship between cost, value and profit. Now this is a comparison chart, cost with respect to volume and profit. Okay, now it determines the probable profit and losses at different level of the activity. Now main function of break-even analysis to give the probable profit and losses. Okay, if loss will increase, definitely you have to change the control process. Okay, or whatever the manufacturing process. So break-even analysis will help to the performance of that particular entire industry or organization. Okay, the sales value at which there is no profit, no loss is known as a break-even point. Okay, in break-even analysis. Okay, wait. In break-even analysis, हाँ बाहेर पडलं का? Okay, so now break-even, I will show that break-even analysis. I think break-even analysis is in second section. Okay, so we will study in detail. Okay, so this is the only initial part. Okay, so chart I have to show you. Okay, so break-even point is whenever the break-even point is nothing but whenever the profit is equal to loss. Okay, that point is nothing but break-even analysis. Whenever that graph will go upward, definitely profit. That graph will below that break-even point, that will be the loss. Okay, so break-even point is equal to fixed cost. This is the formula. So we will see later on. A financial statement. Okay, these are also one of the controlling process. A financial statement shows financial position of a firm over period of time, generally 1 year. Financial statement, we can say that the budget of that industry. Is it right? Whatever the finance, which amount of what amount of budget we have sanctioned. Okay, and actually utilization of that budget. So this is nothing but a financial statement, yearly, monthly, okay, daily. You can generate that financial statement, and according to the financial statement you can control your organization. Okay, if there will be only profit for 2 months and loss for 3 months. Okay, so you have to compare there. Now what changes we should do with the help of financial statement? Is it right? Because market is not stable. Okay, every day within fraction of second market will change. Okay, what is market actually? Whatever the price or cost of product by buying or selling. Okay, so according to that we have to consider the financial statement while controlling the whatever the entire organization or industry. Okay, these are prepared along with last year statement so that firm can compare its present performance with last performance. Definitely, at while doing the financial statement controlling, okay, we have to compare the last year statement with respect to our current year. Okay, definitely. So that will be your benefit for the controlling. Yep. Am I audible very clearly? Anyone? आहे का जागे झोपेच टायमिंग आहे. हां, पेस्ट युअर रोल नंबर शेअर. Okay, huh. So financial statement in it offers information on liquidity. Liquidity is nothing but whatever the market price. Okay, financial strength and profitability. Okay, so that point will be help us to controlling with the help of financial statement, statistical data and report. This is nothing but the analysis of that controlling. Okay, whatever analysis we have done, whatever process, whatever formulas we have used for the controlling, so output or in terms of data or in terms of report, this is nothing but the statistical data and report. Statistical analysis in the form of averages, percentage and ratios. Okay, so statistical data will give us whatever the output in terms of average, percentage or ratio, etc. Now data can be used for diagrammatic representations like histograms, pie chart, bar graphs, etc. Okay, so I think this part we will study in next section. So in detail parts are studied in our syllabus. Okay, त्याच्यावरती आपण नेक्स्ट लेक्चर किंवा नेक्स्ट सेक्शन मध्ये आपल्याला भरपूर आहे बघण्यासारखं. ओके, सो that statistical data and report will be help for the controlling of industry or organization. A report is a statement that represents data in the form of information by carrying out the controlling functions. Whatever controlling units are there, controlling reports are there, okay, controlling values are there. So in terms of one paragraph or one report, okay, we will get the overall data of that particular organization. Setting example. Now it is a old saying that the example is better than the precepts. Okay, precepts. Definitely example is better than the precepts. Why? Because of we are taking example and we are taking reference from that previous examples. Okay, then definitely we will get, and we will try to maintain, or we will try to remove the gaps in between the our work and the from the example. Okay, so for that purpose the setting examples or setting goals are very important while controlling. Some managers follow this and put good example of the performance before subordinates and expect the same from them. Okay, so manager will give example that, for example, Tata Motors manager will give example, or Bharat Forge manager will give example. See the strategies of the Tata Motors. Okay, what, see the qualities, what workers are working. Okay, how workers are working, what is the behavior of that. They will give different examples. So this strategy will also help us for the controlling. Okay, while organization, production or whatever service may be there. Behavior and actions of subordinates can be controlled through exemplary behavior of the manager. Definitely behavior of that particular manager, action of that manager on subordinate can be controlled through the that type of examples. Okay, so that manager will give the examples, and definitely our behavior may change. Okay, because number of people setting his role model. Okay, manager will say, see that this is a worker, okay, or this is a staff, this is a subordinate, take a whatever the follow up of that. Okay, आपण म्हणतो हा काम चांगलं करतो. Okay, that will be the ideal person. So setting example is also one of the strategy of the measuring. Okay, standard costing. Now it is technique of cost control. Okay, already we have discussed in terms of cost. So standard of costing. Under this technique, standards cost of material, labor, core, heads, etc. are determined. Okay, so standard costing is nothing but to maintain or to check what amount is required, what financial support is required. Okay, with the help of material, labor, overhead, or we can say that raw materials. Okay, again maintenance, safety, environment, government rules and regulation, taxes. Okay, so all these factors we can control with the help of standard costing. Actual costs are recorded and compared with the standard cost, and variances are found out. Okay, whatever, suppose we have sanctioned budget of 10 lakh for one unit. Okay, but we have to compare them whatever as per standards. Okay, because market is not stable. Okay, every day different prices of raw material. Okay, government taxes are changing, so we have to consider that factor with the help of comparing the whatever the standard budget or standard cost. Okay, then measures are taken to prevent variances in future. Okay, then measures are taken to prevent variances in future. Why? With the help of standard coding we can maintain, we can prevent the variances in the future. Okay, now written instruction. Okay, number of techniques are there. Okay, so we will take a short. hmm? Actually only one a number of techniques I have put here over here. So we will take a short review. Then otherwise chapter will be very vast. Costing, right, written instruction. Now whenever these instructions are issued time to time to the organization member, whenever while controlling, okay, written instructions are very important. Okay, for example, if you have visited in different industries, okay, there are live messages are there or written values are there. Okay, म्हणजे एका ब्लॅक बोर्ड इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये असतो बघा, जे टाइम टू टाइम रिटर्न व्हॅल्यू लिहिलं असतात. ओके, व्हॉट इज अ मार्केट प्राइस. इफ यू सी वॉच इफ यू रीड न्यूजपेपर, ओके, त्याच्यावर काय असते, गोल्ड प्राइजेस असतात. Okay, petrol prices असतात. So that are the written instructions. So according to that value we can compare whatever the profit or loss or whatever the work style should be followed. Okay, so that is a very important factor of written instruction. Now provides this provide latest information and instruction in the light of changing rules and conditions. Okay, whenever you will get directly written instruction or display in front of you, definitely controlling will be also easy. These are supplementary control technique. Why? These are supplementary, is nothing but the supportive. Okay, different modern techniques are there. Return on investment, management audit, management information system, MIS, CPM and PERT. Okay, so we will study this technique also in next section. Okay, return on investment. Okay, so we will take a short review. Return on investment. Investment consists of fixed asset and working capital used in business. Investment consists of fixed assets and working capital used in business. Whatever the investment we have invested, suppose we have invested 10 lakh. Now initial investment is 10 lakh, but working capital is different. What is which factors are included in working capital? Okay, for example, raw material, man material. Okay, so these are the changing or everyday requirement is there. Raw material, okay, whatever the electricity, is it right? So that are the working capitals. Okay, to run the business, what amount of finance is required? This is nothing but a working capital. Okay, now return on investment, we have to consider this point. Profit on the investment is reward for risk taking. Profit on the investment is a reward for risk taking. This is a very important factor. Any profit, we can say that. What is a profit? Profit is nothing but the investment reward. Okay, म्हणजे आपण काय ते पैसे गुंतवले आहेत, धाडस केलं. Okay, this is a risk. Investment is also risk. Whenever you will take a risk, then and then only you will get the whatever reward or profit. Is it right? So this is very simple and very important sentence. Profit on the investment is a reward for the रिस्क टेकिंग. म्हणजे ते तुम्ही जे धाडस केलं त्याचं तुम्हाला बक्षीस आहे. काय इन्व्हेस्टमेंट करायची धाडस केलं त्याचं बक्षीस काय असणार आहे? प्रॉफिट. ओके. सो प्रॉफिट ऑन द इन्व्हेस्टमेंट इज अ रिवॉर्ड फॉर द रिस्क टेकिंग. Is it right? Now if the ROI is high, then return on investment, if the return on investment is high, then the financial performance of a business is good and vice versa. Definitely whenever profit will or return on investment, suppose investment 10 लाख केली असेल तर 12 लाख तुम्हाला रिटर्न मिळाल तरच फायदा आहे ना. इज इट राईट? सो द ROI is high, then the financial performance of the business is good. Okay, whenever good business will be there, again return on investment will also good there. Okay, this is nothing vice versa. Now it also shows the areas where corrective actions are needed. Is it right? So according to the investment, according to the market strategy, according to the profit and loss, we can show that the corrective action, we can take the corrective action on the same. Management audit. Management audit is also available. Okay. Basically management audit is a evaluation of the management as a whole. Okay, we can say that the performance appraisal, as we discussed, resume, CV. Okay, so these are the evaluation tools of particular person. Okay, so management audit is an evaluation of management as a whole. It critically examines the full management process. Okay, it critically examines the full management process. If find out the efficiency of the management process, it critically examines the full management process. If find out the efficiency of the management, whenever you will get the efficiency, then and then only the manager process, or we can say that this manager is very good, or whatever the output of that manager is very good. Okay, management auditing is conducted by a team of experts. Definitely for any auditing, expert team is required. The data is analyzed and conclusions are drawn about the managerial performance and efficiency. This is the output or analysis, we can say that. Okay, whatever the analysis and conclusion, so according to that we can say that whatever the performance of manager. Management information system. In order to control organization properly, the management needs accurate information. Management information system, we can say that now whatever the report of entire work should be submitted to that higher authority. Okay, or whatever the CEO of that industry or organization. Okay, so management information system is there. Daily report, monthly report. Okay, so yearly report. So this is nothing but the management information system. Information is collected continuously to identify problem and find out the solution. Whenever you will give information daily or whatever the monthly to that particular top level manager, then and then only the solution will be received. Okay, so we have to reach whatever the problem or whatever the requirement to that higher authority. Okay, they need information. Now this is all about controlling. So they need information about the internal working of the organization and also about the external environment. Okay, so already we have discussed the internal, what is the internal environment, what is the external environment in chapter first. Okay, so MIS collects data, processes it and provide it to the managers. Okay, management information system, MIS collects the data, processes it and provide it to the manager. Okay, per type CPM. Okay, so this is another analysis technique. So in detail CPM and PERT we have to study in next section. Okay, examples are also available. Examples also are scheduled there. Okay, so this is also one of the technique of the analysis or controlling technique. Now any program consists of various activities and sub activities. So we will see what is activities, sub activities. Okay, in that CPM and PERT. PERT is nothing but program evaluation and review technique, and PERT CPM is nothing but critical path method. Okay, so these are also included in our syllabus. So we will see in detail in next section. Now importance is given to the identifying the critical activities. Okay, by controlling the time of critical activities, the total time and cost of job are minimized. So main function of that CPM and per techniques are to minimize the time, okay, and minimize the cost. Whenever you will reduce the time and cost, definitely your profit will increase. Okay, now this is the basic aim of the CPM and per technique. Okay, next is budget. Already we have discussed a lot of budget. Budget is a tool management for planning its future activities like estimating sales, expenditure, and production, etc. Okay, whatever the money is required, okay, for to work or to run the industry or organization. Okay, so we have to set, we have to sanction budget, we have to think on budget at the before start the whatever the financial year. Okay, now it is done for indicating expected result in future and possible line of action to get such result. Okay, now budget is nothing but the preparatory plan. Okay, planning we can say that of the financial. According to that budget we can follow that budget, and definitely your industry will work for the next budget, up to next budget. Expected results are projected in terms of units of production. Expected results are projected in terms of units of production, man hours, and machine hours. Okay, so in industry or in management language, whatever the work calculation, okay, so whatever the unit of production, man hours. Okay, for example, any employee or any worker is doing how many hours in industry? So minimum 8 hours. Okay, maximum as per that whatever the capacity of that particular worker. Okay, machine hours. There will be some limitation to the machine also. Okay, continuously some machines are there, some maintenance is required. Okay, so machine hours is also very important. Okay, suppose if you see there are different machineries are available on hour basis. Okay, JCB काय आपण असं बोलू तुला ट्रॅक्टर सारखं. ओके, दिवसभर काम कर, 2-3 एकराच काम करायचं. ओके, सो some machines are working only on hour basis. Okay, in industry also, suppose cranes, different cranes are required. Okay, so is it possible to buy a or purchase a crane for the small work? Okay, so we have to think on that, we have to follow budget. ओके, म्हणजे इंडस्ट्रीतलं काम तुमचं 1,000 रुपये असायचं आणि ते 1,000 रुपये काम होण्यासाठी 10-20 लाखाची तुम्हाला मशीन घ्यायची गरज आहे का? ओके, सो दॅट शुड बी कन्सिडर्ड इन दॅट बजेट. ओके, इट मस्ट बी कॅल्क्युलेटेड फॉर फिक्स्ड फ्युचर टाइम पिरियड अँड प्रिव्हियस statistical data must be considered. Okay, budget is always for the next year. Okay, or in for the future. Okay, but budget is created with the help of previous data. Okay, characteristic of budgetary control: planning. Okay, to plan various activities for each department of the organization. Okay, and these are the characteristic of the budget. First is the planning. Now entire budget will be addition of entire different departments. Okay, so each and every department have to go give his a budget to whatever the head of that organization. Okay, so this is a planning. Coordination: to consolidate the budget of various department in order to prepare a coordinated single budget for the organization as a whole. Definitely from the different department we can collect the departmental budget, and that budget will be added in central level, and according to that central level, that budget or that amount will be distributed or sanctioned for the utilization. Recording: to keep up to date record of the various activities of the entire organization. Okay, this is also very important to find the, to keep the whatever the records. Okay, what amount of budget we have utilized, what amount of money we have utilized, what the expenditures. So all these expenditure we have to write, we have to store the record of each and every point of same. Okay, this is nothing but the recording. This is also characteristic of budgetary control. Next budgetary control characteristic is a control: to find the deviations by comparing the actual with projected estimates. Okay, suppose any variation is there. Okay, so we have to compare with standard. Okay, whatever the projected estimates are there, so we have to compare whatever the actual budget and what budget we have set. And this is also control. appraisal to evaluate and performance on the basis of deviation. Appraisal is nothing but again output, okay, in terms of written communication, okay, to evaluate the performance. So whatever the record of how much amount, how much expenditures, okay. So all these factors will be considered in appraisal. Follow up. Okay, last control characteristic is to see that the deviations and losses are reduced and guarded against. Okay, if there will be follow up is nothing but the continuously observation. Okay, definitely if there will be deviation or losses, reduce. Okay, if there will be any problem, so you have to guide them. Okay, ना उगाच चूक केली म्हणून त्या मागे लागायचं नाही. You have to guide them. Is it right? So all these factors are very important for the budget. हां एक मिनिट फास्ट होत नाही ना जरा भरपूर अजून झालं वाटतं. I think budget is the last point. Characteristic नंतर काय असणार fixed and flexible budget. These are the types. Fixed budget is a budget which is designed to remain unchanged irrespective of the level of the activity actually attained. Okay, fixed budget is nothing but fixed and flexible budget. Okay, for example, initial investment is a fixed budget. Okay, म्हणजे काय बाबा इंडस्ट्रीची जागा असेल, एक 10 लाख रुपये जागा घेतली तुम्ही काम सुरू केलं, दिस इज अ फिक्स्ड बजेट, त्याच्यामध्ये चेंज होणार नाही का, बिकॉज वी हॅव इन्व्हेस्टेड ॲट द इनिशियल टाइम. ओके, बट फ्लेक्झिबल इज नथिंग सपोज रॉ मटेरियल कॉस्ट. Okay, every day cost will change. Okay, so there are two types of budgets. Okay, flexible budget and fixed budget. Okay, so we have to consider that budget also while controlling the entire industry. Okay, now next is the budget which is designed to change in accordance with the activities. Okay, according to the activity the budget will change, and fixed is nothing but the remain unchanged. Okay, this is a small difference. Zero based budget. Okay, zero based budgeting, dividing an enterprise program into packages composed of goal activities and needed resources and calculating the cost for each package from zero base. Okay, now whenever the budget apart from the fixed and flexible, that is nothing but the zero based budget. Okay, dividing enterprise programs into packages composed of goals, activities and needed resources. Okay, and calculating the cost of each package from the zero base. Suppose for example this is nothing but the whenever suppose we want to purchase a raw material. Okay, so if you purchase 1000 ton raw material will get 5 rupees kilo. Okay, but if you purchase in slot wise, okay, 100 किंवा 100 1.5 lakh. Okay, so then cost will also increase. So this is nothing but the zero based budgeting. Traditional non-budgetary control device. Okay, traditional non-budgetary control devices. The traditional control devices not connected with budgets. So actually this is a very huge article. Okay, budget मध्ये एकच पॉइंट तुम्हाला एक्झामला विचारला जाईल, but I have added the additional points. Okay, because this is a very important. Why म्हणजे हेच माहिती नसतं आपल्याला इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये गेल्यानंतर budget. Okay, so only for that purpose I have added the in detail budgetary. Is it right? So next is a traditional control device. Use the statistical data of many aspects of the operations, spatial reports and analysis of the specific area. Is it right? So in budget, statistical data, whatever we have set goal, okay, and that different operations, spatial reports and analysis of that area will be considered in the traditional non-budgetary control. Okay, the operational audit and independent appraiser by staff of internal or external auditors. The personal observations such as managing by walking around. In traditional, whatever budget will be sanction or external audit may be there. Okay, if you see here, this is a March month. Okay, आता इंडस्ट्री बँकेत गेल्या तुमच्या लक्षात येते काय काय करते ते लोक. ओके, सो दिस इज न ट्रॅडिशनल नॉन बजेटरी कंट्रोल डिव्हाइस. ओके, ॲक्च्युली ऑडिट सुरू असतं त्यांचं. ओके, मार्च एंड म्हणतात. ओके, सो दिस इज नथिंग बट द एंटायर analysis and whatever the external and internal audit of that organization will be done. Okay, in also important types of government budgets: balanced budget, unbalanced budget, surplus budget and deficit budget. Okay, already within last week, okay, our Maharashtra government has uh, established the budget in parliament. Okay, our whatever the काय म्हणतो आपण त्याला, वेट ऑफ फोन एकच आहे. हा, so these are the types of surplus budget is nothing but the something extra budget will be there. Okay, deficit is nothing but fixed budget. Okay, suppose for example surplus is nothing but 20% budget we are reserved. Okay, suppose any uncertainty, any difficult area, suppose for example COVID like situation, earthquake may be there. Okay, so these are the emergency budget. Okay, or surplus budget we can say that. Okay, so there are traditional budgeting and zero based budgeting. This is a difference. Okay, so this is not required. Advantages of zero budgeting, limitations of zero budgeting. Okay, so that factors or budget you can say that. Okay, so these are the very simple and which is very important factor while doing work in organization. Okay, so all the factors are included in the controlling. Is it right? So what we have discussed today in controlling, basic 4 points. Okay, techniques, different techniques we have discussed: personal observation, budgeting, break-even analysis, financial statements, statistical data and report. Okay, setting examples, standards, written instructions. Okay, so that point will be very important for the controlling. Okay, so our chapter number 3, organizing and leading and controlling, okay, is over. Okay, so next lecture we will start the last chapter of section number first, different departments. Okay, this is also very interesting chapter. So hope you all have understood the chapters, 3 chapters, or you might be followed, or we might be received all the managerial functions. ओके, आता जर तुम्हाला विचारलं मॅनेजरियल फंक्शन कोणी सांगितलं तर सांगा, नाही तर काय उपयोग नाही मग. ओके, विच मॅनेजर फंक्शन वी हॅव डिस्कस्ड? फर्स्ट वन इज प्लॅनिंग, organizing, staffing, leading, and last one is controlling. Okay, so this is our syllabus of chapter number 3. Okay, so we have discussed about leading and in controlling, process of controlling and control techniques. Okay, this is the only syllabus. Okay, so due to that only within one lecture we have finished that point. Okay, so our chapter number 3 is over. Okay, so in next lecture we will start the chapter number 4. Okay, so thank you for attending this lecture. Okay, so I will take attendance, don't leave. So record झाले का मीटिंग? Okay, so thank you.